Hi everyone, it's Angie Perez. We're going to get started with Whiteboard Monday. Our topic for today is what is PMI and is it a scam? I'm going to show you my slides first and then I'm going to come back at the end of the video. So you'll see my beautiful face at the end. If you're not already familiar with the term PMI, what it stands for is private mortgage insurance. And what it essentially is an insurance policy for a lender who's giving you a loan where you are putting less than the traditional 20% down on the home. All right, to fully understand this, let's go back further. Let's go back to the early 1900s. If you were a home buyer in the early 1900s, you had to put down 40%, maybe even 50% of the house that you were buying. And your loan at that time was probably either a 5-year or a 10-year loan. Now, things have significantly changed. In the 1930s, there was more of a standard that people would be able to buy a house with 20% down. And then in the 1950s, something else happened. What happened was the lenders decided that people can get in early and they can purchase a home without putting down the traditional 20% if they were willing to take out an additional insurance policy called private mortgage insurance. Private mortgage insurance protects the lender against default in the event that if you were to default, the insurance policy would kick in and the lender would be protected. So if you think about it this way, PMI is a bridge to home ownership. It allowed people to put down less than the traditional 20%, 3%, 5%, or even 10% is more common today. And as a result, if you have PMI, you can pay it up front or you can have it included in your monthly payment. In some cases, it can be tax deductible. It depends. You'd have to talk to your tax accountant. Okay, so here's a real-world example of how PMI can affect you and how it's actually not a scam, but it's something that benefits you if you use it correctly. So let's say, for example, you're buying a house at $500,000. If you were required to put 20% down, that's $100,000. Either through savings or some other method, you'd have to come up with $100,000 as your down payment. What PMI does is, let's say, for example, the lender says, okay, I believe that you're credit worthy and that you're going to repay this loan, and you can put down 3% or 5% or maybe even 10%, but you do have to pay this additional insurance in the event that you default. It allows you to get into the game much earlier. Okay, so let's say, for example, you're a person that can save $10,000 for the year. If you were going to actually save up to $100,000, maybe that would take you 10 years. But what PMI does is that it allows you to buy that house in year 2 or 3 so that you don't have to wait 10 years in order to be a homeowner. So it gives you access to be able to purchase a home earlier if you're willing to take out the additional insurance, which comes through private mortgage insurance. Now, if you're a credit-worthy individual, meaning you have a high credit score, you might be able to avoid PMI altogether. Different brokers have different programs, so you may want to reach out to different brokers. But if you want to have an agent represent you, to be there for you, to guide you, I'm here for you. So if you're looking to buy in New Jersey, just send me a DM and we'll get started. We'll do what we call a free buyer's consultation to help you assess where you're at, how much you have to save. What's the plan? We'll actually put a plan for you in place. So reach out to us. Just send a DM. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this Whiteboard Monday.